What is up, sexy beast? Bald Russian Spetsnaz here, and today we'll be taking a look at the PTRS and putting it up against the SVG and seeing which is the better weapon to have. So let's go ahead and get the shit started. So real quick, I want to say thank you to a man going by the name of I Like Chips. He actually commented to do this comparison on the last comparison video, so thank you for the idea. And you guys should know the bald deal by now. The first thing we'll do is let you guys watch and listen to each of these weapons, just that way you guys can decide for yourself which one you prefer. So here you go. Alright, next up is this stupid segment that I actually put in here to try to get the video past 10 minutes. We're going to be going over the background information of the PTRS and not the SVG, because the SVG is not a real weapon, and I have no idea what it's modeled after. You Einsteins in the comments are probably going to tell me, but I don't read, nor do I know how to. So let's get on to the PTRS. So the PTRS was actually designed in 1938 by Sergei Garvanats-Simonov. I can only really pronounce Sergei. But like I said, it was designed in 1938 and was actually produced in 1941 throughout 1945. So basically it was used in the entirety of World War II and was actually used in a lot of other wars like the Korean War, Chinese Civil War, the Syrian Civil War, the Lebanese Civil War, and the war in Donbass. No idea what the fuck that is. And a little unknown fact, the PTRS is actually still being used today in Ukraine. But while the PTRS was actually being developed, its cousin was actually being developed, and its name was the PTRD-41. Now, its cousin was a cheaper weapon and was not as high-tech as the PTRS, but was way more reliable. And the PTRS was very prone to jamming up and basically breaking down if it even got the slightest bit of dirt actually inside of it. But when you actually could get this thing to fire its massive round, its 14.5 by 114mm, you're going to be able to do some pretty fucking good damage. It's going to be able to pierce a armor plate that's 40mm thick at around 100 meters. Which, when you think about it, is actually really good. I can only imagine the kickback that this thing actually had when you shot it. And overall, this thing weighed about 46 pounds and was about 83 inches in total length, and just the barrel length alone was 47 inches. So this thing, it was a monster. It wasn't a gun for the weak-willed. It was a gun for apparently fucking gorillas, because this gun is fucking huge. But now that you have a little bit of background information on the weapon that we're dealing with, and the SVG is in Black Ops 3 and you can use it, there's the background information on it. Let's actually start getting into the tests. So if I line up both these weapons side by side, let's go and test the fire rate. I start shooting at the exact same time. I make sure that the SVG actually has 5 bullets because it usually does carry 6, and the PTRS is going to be a little bit faster. The SVG's fire rate is only going to be 42 rounds per minute, while the PTRS's fire rate is actually going to be 75 rounds per minute. And even though it's actually only semi-automatic, it does have a set fire rate, so you can only fire it so fast. And next up, if we actually take a look at accuracy, we're talking about recoil and hip fire. When it comes to recoil, the PTRS is definitely going to be the winner, mainly just because back in the day, they didn't really know exactly what they were doing with recoil. So when you look at the PTRS, you're only shooting in 2 spots, while with the SVG, you kind of have a really tight grouping. It's just it's going in multiple different areas. And if you were asking me, which one would you rather have? A guaranteed shot going in either 2 places or going in like 5, I'm definitely going to pick the 2. And when it comes to hip fire, I would much rather have the PTRS. Those reticles are going to be a little bit smaller, and that bullet is actually going to go in between those reticles. While with the SVG, it was kind of going a little bit out there. So when it comes to overall accuracy, I would definitely prefer the PTRS. Alright, next up we're going to be taking a look at the reload speed. So if I start reloading at the exact same time, the SVG is going to mop the floor with the PTRS. And like, just honestly, editing this footage was pissing me off because they have such fucking slow reload speeds. I'm a very impatient bald man, and honestly, that's kind of what turns me off of these two weapons, is their incredibly long fucking reload speed. But if there's any light in this dark tunnel, I guess it's that the SVG is a little bit faster. Alright, and next up, this is a test that I really like to do with weapons that I know have slow mobilities, and we're basically just going to be running from one side of the map to the other and seeing which weapon has a faster mobility rate. And if I start running at the exact same time in the exact same spot, on the same map, sort of, the SVG is going to be a lot faster than the PTRS. That's one thing I really dislike about the PTRS is you're really fucking slow when you move. You are not going to be able to train properly with this weapon without getting hit multiple times from behind. I mean, you could use it as a secondary weapon, but you're really not going to be training having the PTRS as your primary weapon. It just makes you move too slow. Alright, so now that we got all those unupgraded tests over with, let's go ahead and upgrade these things and see what all changes. So the PTRS-41, when upgraded, becomes the Penetrator, and its damage is going to stay the exact same, nothing really changes there. Its rate of fire is also going to stay the same. Its magazine size goes from 5 to 8. The ammo it actually does carry in stock does not change at all, so basically when you upgrade this thing, you get a couple more bullets, and that's really it. Well, that's not also it. It also gains a really cool ability. When it upgrades, it's called the Penetrator, and it's not just called that because it's really into MILFs. It's actually called that because it can go through a lot of fucking zombies. One bullet is going to be able to go through multiple zombies. Now, a lot of other sniper rifles can go through like 1 or 2 zombies. This thing can penetrate up to 5 zombies. That's a lot when you actually think about it. So you're not just injuring one zombie, you're injuring multiple zombies at once. So that kind of actually does make up for its lack of ammo, because you're not just injuring one zombie, you're injuring 5. And honestly, just hearing that makes this a really good weapon, except for its fucking mobility. Its mobility did not change once you upgrade it, and it's still piss poor, and it's really what honestly turns me off from this weapon. So saying that, let's go ahead and take a look at the SVG-100, or when upgraded to this word that I cannot pronounce. So once you actually do upgrade it, it is going to get a damage buff. It's basically going to do double the damage. Unupgraded wise, when it comes to the SVG and the PTRS is going to be more powerful. But once you actually upgrade both these weapons, since the PTRS damage does not increase, the SVG or the Iken Hizatsu is actually going to be more powerful. And also, when it comes to rate of fire, really nothing changes there. Magazine size goes from 6 to 10, and overall max ammo in stock goes from 60 to 100. So when it comes to ammo, there's going to be a huge difference between the unupgraded versions and the upgraded ones. And also, the mobility is going to go from kind of piss poor to a lot better once you actually do upgrade this thing. Alright, so after saying all that, in case you did not believe me, let's go and take a look at all those tests over again real quick. So the first one is going to be the fire rate, and in case you thought I was bamboozling you with the fire rate does stay the same once you actually upgrade it. The PTRS is still going to have a faster fire rate. And next up, let's take a look at accuracy, and again, nothing really changes here. I would much rather have the PTRS than the SVG. The PTRS is going to be accurate if you're aiming down sights or if you're just hip firing, and the SVG is going to be very, very accurate. I'm not trying to like discredit it or anything, but it's not as good as the PTRS. Now, you always can throw on a couple attachments to help that SVG out, but if we're just looking at the bare bones attachments, the PTRS is definitely going to be the winner here. Now, when it comes to the last two things, when it comes to reload speed and mobility, the SVG is going to take both. It's going to take the reload speed, it's going to be a lot faster, and it's also going to take the mobility. So real quick to recap, when it comes to the fire rate and accuracy, the PTRS is going to win. When it comes to damage, unupgraded wise, the PTRS wins. Upgraded wise, the SVG wins. When it comes to the reload speed and the mobility speed, the SVG is going to take the W. And really, if you never played World at War, you don't understand how fucking slow you move with this PTRS. It is so bad. The PTRS sounds like a great weapon. It's extremely powerful and it can penetrate up to 5 zombies at once, which if you're sitting on that catwalk can make for a pretty good weapon. But if you have to run with this thing, you're going to get bit by dogs. And honestly, I've almost been downed by a couple dogs because I was running with this thing. The PTRS does not make for a good late game weapon. Hell, it barely even makes for a good early game weapon. I wouldn't recommend it whatsoever. While the SVG, on the other hand, it's a pretty good overall weapon. It's not the greatest sniper rifle in the game, but it's definitely one of them. It's very, very powerful. The only real complaints that I have with it is its slow fire rate, and you guys know me, I'm a sucker for fast fire rates in medieval castles. And its reload speed, you know, isn't the greatest, but I can definitely get over that with its high damage. So now let's go ahead and take a look at both these weapons on round 50. The PTRS on high rounds will definitely get you some kills. Like I said, it does a lot of damage, pretty good headshot multiplier, 5 zombies at once. What's there not to love? The fucking mobility, that's what there's not to love. I'm sorry, you guys don't understand how much that triggers me! I identify as someone with fast mobility, and when I have a gun that doesn't have fast mobility, I just get triggered. But like I said earlier, I would not recommend this weapon on high rounds. You'd have to have another gun just to run with, and then switch to the PTRS when you need to use it, and then switch to your other gun when you want to actually move. And all that effort doesn't really reward you with much results, so I just would not recommend the PTRS on high rounds. Mobility really does kill it for this weapon. You give it a much better mobility, it's going to be an amazing weapon. But unfortunately, it is slow as shit, and it should be. It's a pretty big fucking gun in real life, so of course it's going to be slow. Now the SVG on high rounds is an alright weapon. In Black Ops 3, I would much rather have the Locust. Now the Locust isn't as powerful as the SVG, but it does have a faster fire rate, and I feel like I can get more shots off and do a lot more damage faster with the Locust than I can with the SVG. But still saying that, the SVG is definitely going to be the better weapon to have out of these two. You're going to have way more ammo, you're going to deal way more damage, faster, and basically almost everything. So what's there really not to love about the SVG? It's going to be great on early rounds, middle rounds, kind of on high rounds. It does kind of poop out in like the 30s and 40s. But if you were to throw both these weapons in front of me on round 50, I'm definitely going to pick the SVG. And you guys know how I feel about Black Ops 3 weapons. I don't like them that much. They're not really weapons. They're kind of just made up bullshit. They sound like toys. But we're not talking about my bald opinions, we're talking about results. We need results, we need hardcore methamphetamines and facts. And the facts don't lie, the SVG is definitely going to be the better weapon to have on high rounds. So that is going to be my final verdict, and that's also going to be it for this video. Let me know down below what you guys think. Which one do you guys prefer, the PTRS or the SVG? Which one do you guys think looks and sounds better? I think the PTRS does sound better, but I kind of like the little cool animations on the SVG once you actually do shoot it. But I'm also a huge nostalgia faggot, and I really do love the chrome skin and the World at War weapons. But like I said, let me know what your guys' feelings are down below, and also give me some more ideas for some more comparisons. And real quick, I want to say shout out to my Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome as hell, and I love you. Thank you guys so much for your support. I think when you guys are watching this, I am currently in Tennessee. And as long as you guys keep tweeting me and bothering me enough, I'm going to try to vlog the entire thing, and you guys will get access to that vlog first. So keep your guys' eyes out for that. If you want to be a Patreon supporter, check it out. Links right down below. And also while you're down there, follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Just because sometimes I post funny things there, and it's also a better way to keep up with me. And lastly, check out my sponsor, Into the AM, if you guys like really cool space-themed t-shirts or just really nice t-shirts in general. Check them out, link down below, use code RABBIT for 10% off. And lastly, hopefully you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.